Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be diving into something pretty interesting. What German prisons do differently. I've made probably 2 videos on the topic of German prisons, and basically because I talked about something yesterday that was pretty crazy. Actually, it was 2 days ago, of a mother in Solingen, Germany, doing some horrific things to her own children, and the sentencing I was talking about and whatnot. It made me think of the prison system in Germany and how different it is from the system we have here in America. I feel like the system we have here in America is very much centered around punishing people and not really attempting to correct behavior. Even though we ironically call a lot of our facilities correctional facilities, very misuse of the term correctional facility. So we're going to be diving into this video, what German prisons do differently, and kind of like have a nice little discussion. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. If you guys are returning viewers, welcome back. I post videos every single day, and I've been focusing on learning some German and more about the country of Germany, just because, you know, I plan on traveling there very soon. I'll let you guys know when exactly and kind of just go from there. But if you guys have anything to add, I would love to hear it in the comments down below. I'm pretty active as far as, like, you know, reading your stuff goes. I'm going to try to be more active as far as replying to all of your comments, and let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and see what they have to say and break this down, because I think it's very interesting. Let's go.
Prisons are toxic places.
They are. They really are. American prisons especially. Institute of Justice.
When you walk into them, you are immediately bombarded by...
First off, the quality of these things is messed up. I'm not saying prisoners should be living a luxurious lifestyle, but at least basic human, like, you know, just standards, right? Like, a lot of these buildings are old and have like moldy, just unsafe conditions and stuff like that. It's pretty intense, man. Like, I don't know. This seems more like a prisoner of war cell than prisoner
the smell,
area.
by the noise, by the lack of color on the walls.
Look at this.
There is a dearth of life in the eyes of the people who are incarcerated.
Well, obviously, too, it is also prison and not paradise. So I do get that it's not supposed to be the world's fanciest thing ever. But like I said, there's certain things when it comes to taking care of these prisons that people are not even doing the bare minimums on. So there's that as well. But I'm mainly referring to the climate when I made the statements earlier and whatnot, when it comes to how different the systems are between German and U.S. prisons. It's pretty crazy.
The people that work in the prisons, there's little grass or trees, very little plant life. This is just...
Look at this. At least they got basketball, bro. Look at the barbed wire in these things. Good. Googly moogly. Good Lord.
what the absence of life and joy can be. So we went to Germany to understand how you can do things differently.
Yeah, and that's been very popular. I feel like every few years there's a team of people from the US that goes out to Germany to try to take, you know, in the system that has been established for incarceration, you know, because people are like, well, if there is a more effective way to go about incarcerating people, what would that be? And Germany's method is very impressive because from what I've heard and what I've seen, it's designed to correct behavior, like genuinely correct behavior that landed the various people in the prison system in the first place. The system here is designed to punish you. You serve your time and you get out. And a lot of times people are so lost when they get out, they desire to come back to prison because that's all they know. The prison life, the prison code stuff. Like it's crazy, man. Like it's really crazy. Now, I do know that the inmates have a lot to do with the climate, but then the biggest part of all of this is the system itself. If the system itself is designed to kind of just like keep you running in place, then there really is no motivation to change any behavior. So people who have literally gotten away with heinous crimes, right? or not really gotten away with it, but they've gotten sentenced to little to no time in these prisons and stuff for heinous crimes. They go out, and there's no motivation for them to correct their behavior. They continue doing what they were doing before because there was no there was no one checking on them, or at least inquiring why they did that in the first place, and an attempt was never made to try to mentally eradicate the thought that inspired the action. It's pretty crazy, and it's very unfortunate, but that's literally the crux of American prisons and stuff.
They've taken the structures, the architecture around prisons, and they've modified them and changed the people inside them.
Look at this.
They run their prisons based in human dignity and organized around the principle of normalization.
There you go.
That prisons should replicate the outside community as much as possible.
Yep. Because at the end of the day, you are still human. You are still human. Yes, you've committed some crazy stuff that landed you here in the first place, but the idea and the ideal is to find a way to mitigate and correct the behavior so that when you inevitably do get released back into the public, you don't inflict harm on yourself or anyone else, and other people aren't inspired by your actions to do such things. Because what we want is a society where we can all live without infringing on other people's lives. And I feel like it really starts with trying to correct the behaviors of people who kind of go against all of that, and when you kind of just give up and go like, oh, well, they can't be corrected, they just are who they are, then you create problems like this. Like our prison system here is a business. It's literally a business. Like you have to keep a certain amount of bodies in each prison to get a certain amount of money for your prison. And on the money, I promise you, is not being spent on upgrades or the quality of life for inmates. They don't care about that. They're like, well, they got themselves there, so we don't care about that. We're going to boost our paychecks. We're going to spend money on other frivolous things. And then people are sitting here cross-eyed as to why individuals in the American society are so wild. Why do people not fear going to a place like that? Or why do people treat places like this as a dead end and not a way to correct behavior? It's because it's just the way the system's set up, man. It's pretty messed up.
They learn that this job is about relationships, and that relational safety is just as important as the security of the building.
There's life. People aren't afraid for their safety. We saw
hell yeah, man. You go to American prison, good Lord.
People laying on the courtyard completely comfortable with
that's what blew my mind. People just sprawled out in the courtyard. First off, your courtyards look beautiful. This on prison grounds, bro, never in America. Never in America, bro. Never. That's like a scene from Chronicles of Narnia. You would never see some shit like that here in America, bro. You'd see like barbed wire fences like you saw in the beginning of this video, and people playing basketball, and those privileges would probably get taken away on a regular basis. So what else is there to do? I don't know. Smuggle in some contraband items and poking people up. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else to do but, keep things interesting and very dramatic in those prison walls, man, when you kind of take away people's basic human rights.
Heather, you would never see that in an American prison.
Nope.
We saw young people hanging out with correctional officers.
Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. Crazy. Correctional officers and inmates don't normally have a very good relationship in American prisons. That's a thing. That is a thing.
Without the fear of surveillance, young people and correctional officers playing soccer
together. What?
You walk into someone's room and you can learn so much about them. They've got posters on the wall of their heroes and cheer.
Isn't that crazy? This is somebody's room, bro. What? They got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on their wall. Like, I promise you that is something they would never do here in America. Never. They would never do that. First off, the public, the mob here, right? The online mob would never let that happen. Let alone the actual, individual privatized prisons. They would never let that slide, bro. They're bare minimums is what I'm saying. And it's so crazy. We let stuff like this happen. These are just little kinks in the armor that will inevitably take down a nation, right? Like just little things like this. There's a bigger picture, of course, but little kinks in the armor. It's like, wow, like we really aren't bothering with trying to correct behavior like this. We're just cool with just punishing people and pretty much putting them out of the public eye. But what you don't realize is they're one of many people with very similar traits. And if you can find a way to tap in to whatever it is that landed them there and essentially mitigate or eliminate that mentality, then you create a safer society. And that's exactly what German prisons focus on. And it's so crazy to me that America doesn't focus on stuff like that, man. Because and now I understand, the more and more I react to videos like this, I'm understanding more and more how capitalism is definitely an issue. I didn't really see it as an issue before, but I think the wool has been taken out from over my eyes. So I see it now. I see it.
And you've got TVs.
Look at this.
Lighters on the table.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Never here.
Very different. One of the things that was so striking was walking through a prison compound and you see trees and water and swans.
Wow.
It's what human dignity smells like, looks like, and feels like.
It's crazy. And the thing is, it's not like it's a paradise, right? It's a paradise in comparison to American prisons, but you're still incarcerated. So the feeling of being, bound within those walls, it's still there fundamentally, right? Like you still can't go out and you can't do online shopping. You can't do a whole bunch of stuff, but you at least have the basic rights to at least, move forward in your life. It's kind of, it's dope.
And this was in a maximum security prison.
Maximum security. This is maximum security.
It tells us you can do this in
a
different way.
Amen.
Our experiment with mass incarceration has created a uniquely American phenomenon that has prisons warehousing millions of people far away from their families and communities.
Which is
not
worked. Shit. Yeah, it hasn't worked. Clearly, whoa. It has not worked. And what's sad is we know this and we have not bothered to change any of this.
That has prisons warehousing millions of people far away from their families and communities. It has not worked. It has not made us safer.
Nope.
But we can learn from other countries like Germany, where they have systems designed around human dignity.
Human dignity, man. A word that I don't think Americans know.
That promote restorative justice, that ensure accountability, and everyone is safer, happier, and healthier. And we can restore the promise of American justice.
Yep. But I feel like it's bent on vengeance and money, and yeah, it's pretty messed up. But I leave this to you guys. How do you feel our prison system is from the outside looking in? Maybe I'm too harsh on our prison system. Maybe our prison system is ideal. Maybe people want to get locked up here in America. You let me know in the comments down below how you feel about how America has been handling mass incarceration. I personally have seen way too many people that I've known get locked up, and I've also seen way too many people who have gotten out of situations like that, who have told me what it was like being in those situations, and it doesn't seem pleasant at all. I mean, on some other stuff, like literally, like the way that it's structured, the opportunities that are that they have that are in there. Can I say that they are getting better? Yes, as time has progressed, things are getting a bit better, but I feel like it's kind of hand in hand, right? Because of the lack of opportunity and the way that mass incarceration was treated long ago, and for however long in America, it created a culture within the prison system that made it incredibly dangerous for people who got, put in the prison system, whether it was wrongfully or, rightfully, right? And so as things are changing, you still have the culture from when things were not as available, right? And it's going to be a really wonky balance for the next, like, I don't know, possibly few decades. But like I said, I turn the question to you guys. How do you feel the system is here in America? I want to hear your comments and your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will respond to you guys and open up a discussion. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. I love you guys. Kus, 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 kus. Well, what a pleasure it is to see all of your beautiful faces at the end of this lovely video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm sure you know, as I've mentioned in the past, we do have a Discord that's linked in the description down below, and we would love to have you a part of the world's greatest community ever, Bray Gang. Yes, if you've made it to this point in the video, you're officially a part of the community. So go ahead, join the Discord server. Link is in the description down below. And we also have other social media as well, like Instagram, Twitter. We're live. We go live on Twitch quite often as well. So it would behoove you to, go ahead and subscribe to the Twitch channel at twitch.tv/JamesBrayGang. Join the cause and be a part of the greatest, literally the greatest community ever. Okay, it's simple. Just go ahead and do those little things. We're trying to grow on all these little platforms and everything, and it really means a lot. Now, I know you guys stumbled up across the channel and you're like, what does this guy post? Like, what kind of content does he post? Reactions, vlogs, pretty much whatever comes to my mind. All right, it's random content. I don't know what I'm gonna be posting 10 years from now, but I do know that you can stick along for the journey, and it really means a lot. Now, for every single person that subscribes and follows all of the accounts that I have made, and all the links will be in the description down below, that's an automatic entry for any future giveaways I decide to have. I'll remind you when the giveaways take place, but you'll be surprised what I will be giving away because you guys have supported me so much up to this point, and it's only right that I do the same thing back. Thank you guys so much for being amazing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.